Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some bad financial decisions together. This is for entertainment purposes only, so if you're entertained, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. So I thought that we were going to go to the next stage of lamb feeding ownership. However, this afternoon I wound up with a new bottle baby who is less than 24 hours old, so I guess I will just never sleep again. Ever. This new one, her mom had a difficult birth, and the farm manager had to, both of the lambs were trying to be born at the same exact time, and it generally works better if they go one at a time. So the one of them is up running around with its mom, and its mom is a good mom and wanted this one to also join in the reindeer games, but she was very listless and she can't lift her head, and so I think she's doing better now. I've tried to feed her twice, 3 times, and she still can't lift her head, which is something that happens with lambs, just depending on how they're laying in their mom's belly. It basically pinches their nerve, and it takes a couple of days for them to be able to lift their head. But I'm going to have to go out every hour, so again, no second takes. So this is the time of the week where I am comparing how I did versus XDTE. And so with $9,470, which is the amount that I paid for the leap that I did 2 weeks ago, for the time frame of 2 weeks ago, I would have gotten $28.22 from XDTE. So how did I do? I got $97.84, which at some point I'm going to have to come up with a conclusion from my little experiment. And it's going to include, in down weeks, like this particular week, I am actually really impressed with. It's just so cool to be able to get $1,000 almost from SPY in basically a week, even though I should probably lay off and quit it and not do much else this week. But it was really nice to be able to do a single roll call where I rolled my cover call and get $434, and it felt so much different than MSTU, where I have a bunch of $4 puts, and so I'm getting $20 at a time instead of just one big thing. So I mean, it's just different. And but I mean, I feel like most of the time when I'm covering this, I'm complaining about having to manage my SPY options. But on weeks like this, where it's going down by a lot, it's actually more fun to have my own SPY options in which to roll forward. So yeah, I've gotten almost $1,000 from my SPY this week, and it's only Thursday. And I actually haven't recorded the SPY roll that I did today, so I have gotten $1,000 from SPY this week. So I'm not sure what that actually proves, besides the fact that I probably need to stop doing so many options. Actually, I am pretty sure what my conclusion is. My conclusion is that these high-income ETFs, there are people who want to use high-income ETFs for different reasons. I feel like a lot of people just don't either don't know options or they don't want to manage it themselves, which is fair. Everyone who's doing high income ETFs hopefully needs current income because that's what these are for. They're not for price appreciation. So I think that these are great for fractional ownership of covered calls. So I might not be getting as much money per share, like per dollar, as I would have if I had just done it myself. But sometimes you just don't have 10,000 whole dollars. So, or $15,000 like it is now for the SPY. So in that case, invest in XDTE or Misty or whichever ones you want to until you have enough principal to make it into a LEAP or a cover call, or have 100 shares and then do cover calls. And then you could do better per week for the amount of capital that you have invested in those. So I could, I'll make another video that has the actual visualizations and everything, but even my inexperienced self has been able to outpace XDTE, and XDTE is basically the gold standard now. It's the benchmark of like, is a fund that focuses on high income ETF, is it good? And how's it different from XDTE? Because everything being the same, if I can get a really decent yield from the S&P 500 or another broad index, then I'm going to do that rather than messing around with a single stock. Because single stocks have a lot of risks that people don't really ever go into or minimize, or just don't realize the extent of that risk until, it happens. So I think this week made me a more enthusiastic believer of the SPY LEAP. And I have been thinking about, because yesterday was Ash Wednesday, and I'm not Catholic, but my first job I had after I came home, I was an English teacher abroad. My coworker asked me to do Lent with her, and I had never done Lent because I'm not Catholic. But, and she didn't really explain the rules to me, so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll just give up shaving my legs. And she was like, stop being gross. But it got me to think, what are my habits? And what bad habit would I like to give up? And I really just don't have all that many bad habits. A lot of people give up coffee or chocolate, but I'm not, I only drink coffee during the work week usually. And at the moment, because of the lamp, I'm only drinking I'm only sleeping 2 hours at a time. So maybe this week and month is not the time to cut back on whatever caffeine I have in order to stay awake to be at work. And chocolate, it's not I'm usually able to control myself, or it's I have 2 little fun size things after dinner. It's not a terrible habit. But then I was reading, and there's actually a trend for positive changes. So you do Lent and you develop a habit. And I did that when I was doing Lent with her. And it was basically just studying for an hour every night. But this time, pretty sure the first thing that came to mind, and I'm going to try to do it, is every day I'm going to clean something new. Just pick one thing that I wouldn't normally in my everyday life be straightening out, and just do one more thing to clean up around my house, because it does not normally bother me But by the time it does bother me, it's usually a huge undertaking to get everything under control. And with the lambs and having 4 dogs in the house, it's there's always room for improvement there. So yesterday was okay. I folded laundry, and then today I'm just put a wash in a load of load of wash, whatever. My laundry got washed. I need to put it in the dryer after this. And then I'm going to feed all 3 lambs and then attempt to go to sleep and see and repeat all of the cycles in the morning. One last fun story. Last night for the snacks, because I give my dogs their food, and then I usually give them something to chew on. And yesterday I gave them hooves, cow hooves, that are stuffed with peanut butter. And when I went to go to bed, there was a cow hoof on my pillow, so I moved it off to the side. And so at 4 a.m, my alarm went off, and I was trying to turn off my alarm, and it just wasn't turning off. And it turns out I was just like holding the cow hoof, trying to trying to turn off the alarm with the cow hoof. So that's the kind of day I'm having. And hopefully you all are doing good. And what do you all think about just high income ETFs in general? Like, why are you interested in high income ETFs rather than doing your own options? Is it comfortability and your education level with options? Have you done options in the past, and these are just good ways to manage positions that you don't want to focus on? Like, do you have a gambling addiction, and this is a way to get high income ETFs without having to gamble? I'm interested, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.